So we've just learned how to bring images into Android Studio and into our Android projects ready for use. We still don't know how to use these pictures, these images, in our image view widget. So this tutorial is going to be the final tutorial on XML and layouts before we get stuck into Java programming. And the purpose of this is just to tidy up this layout, introduce a few more attributes. So don't worry if there's been a whole heap of new elements and new views and new attributes and that you're feeling like you're not going to remember any of them. Lots of these attributes we're going to repeat over and over again, so you'll get plenty of experience using those. Okay, so we'll do the image view first. So to use a file in any widget which is capable of using a file, the attribute we need is src, standing for source, a bit like our source folder on the left. So do src and autocomplete that. And if you remember the image that we imported, it was a drawable. It's in our drawable folder actually to the left. If I just escape that, you see here. So when we imported it, if I open this folder, you can see the picture is there. So back to the source attribute, because it's a drawable, you can start typing drawable. As you start typing it, you'll notice it's actually at drawable, like that. But typing drawable is fine. And then you can then see the drawables that we have, and there's only 4 we can select there. And if you use the up and down arrows or the mouse to click the image tape measure, I'll select that and autocomplete. And then if you look to the right, we can see the images there. So this is a good point now to run the app on the emulator just to see what this looks like on a phone and see what we need to change. So go ahead to the toolbar, click run. Okay, and that's now loaded. So let's have a look at this. We have the picture. I'd say it's a bit close to the edge of the screen there. It's a bit close to the toolbar, so we could maybe bring that in a bit. Also, all the distance between the individual views is far too close. We need a bit of space between those. Let's click around on this because it is a real app we can click on. So let's click male. Okay, so that radio button is working nicely. Let's click female. Okay, so there's a problem. These 2 radio buttons in our linear layout, they don't deselect when you select the other one. So we need to fix that. Let's click on the age, edit text. Okay, that's bringing up our keyboard with the alphabet, with all the letters. And we don't really want that because I can type random letters and GFT isn't exactly a valid age, is it? So we want the keyboard for the user to only show numbers, really. Same for feet, inches and weight. Okay, so there's a few things we can change there. So let's get stuck into this now. Okay, I've just minimized my emulator there. So let's address those problems in the order that we mentioned them. So the first problem is that all of the contents of the screen, that image view at the top, it's very close to the edges. We want to provide a bit of space, like a buffer. Now, the simple way to do this will be to have some attribute on the linear layout, our root element, which provides space, this buffer, to all of its contents, all of its children. That would be the quick and easy way to do that. You might think, oh, margin. Margin is what I know from like word processors and whatnot. Unfortunately, margin in Android layouts does something slightly different to what we want. We want to provide space for all of linear layouts contents. And this attribute that we need is called padding. So type padding and autocomplete. So yes, we can provide a value here. We'll use density independent pixels, DP again. Multiples of 4 are usually a good idea in layouts. So 4, 12, 16. We'll go with 16 DP and we'll have a look at that. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a little bit of space there, a little bit of a... In fact, let's change it to 24 DP. Okay, there's a bit more space there. So that's going to provide this padding, this space between the linear layout view group and all of its contents. So the next problem was all of the items were close together. So the image view is probably okay, but this BMI calculator text view, that's a bit close. So let's go to this now and think of an attribute. So now we can move on to this attribute of margin. So padding makes all of the view's contents inside it have some more space. But margin, that provides space between the element selected, in this case text view, and its neighbors, what's next to it. So this is the one we want. And this is a common cause of confusion for all new Android developers. Padding and margin, they're similar but not the same. And don't worry if you're not fully getting this now. We will repeat using padding and margin so much it will eventually click. But for now, margin will give us the space we need. So start typing margin, and it's actually layout margin. And you'll see we've all the values for the top, bottom, and left, right. But we'll just apply margin to all sides of this. So select layout margin, and we will do a value of, let's just do 8 dp. So 8 density independent pixels. And do you see that? We've got a little bit of space now. So padding, again, is the space between an element and its some space for all of its contents. But margin provides space between an element, a view, and its neighbors. Okay, subtle difference. We'll repeat this many times, do not worry. So that's good for text view. Let's apply this to all of the children of linear layout, of all of these elements. So we'll do it for the linear layout for male and female. A bit of space there, that looks good. We won't do it for any of the sub-children. So we won't do it for the radio buttons, just for the main linear layouts children. We'll do it for this edit text, the age one, that's fine. We'll do it for the feet and inches linear layout container. That's good. And we'll do it for the weight edit text. Remember, we're not doing for these feet and inches because they're kind of nested a bit deeper. Don't need it for them. And we'll do it for the calculate button. And we'll do it for the actually the final text view, the you are healthy or not result. Let's give that a bit more margin. Let's give that 24, so it's really in its own space. Okay, so if we look now, these are looking a lot more spaced out, a lot neater there. Okay, so that solves that problem. The next problem was the radio buttons. So when we selected one, the other one didn't deselect. Okay, linear layout handles the grouping them together, but it doesn't really have any behavior, any feature that will that knows about the radio buttons. There's not really an attribute we can do on these buttons that will fix the problem, but there is another view group, another container we can use that does handle this behavior for us. It's a type of linear layout, so it behaves almost the same. So double click linear layout, delete that, and type radio group. A radio group is a type of linear layout, so it still has things like orientation, horizontal, but with one small difference. And that difference is when you select one radio button, the other one will deselect. So that will solve that problem for us. Okay, so we're looking good. We have the padding, squeezing everything in. We have the margin, space between each individual element. We have the male and female radio group, so they all behave. So the final problem was the edit texts. You clicked them and it brought up an alphanumeric keypad with letters that we don't want. So this is your final attribute to learn, and it is called inputType. So go to the edit text for age, type inputType. This is an attribute where you can specify what content you want, and when you specify this, say if it's number, that will then present the user with only numbers. So that's exactly what we want. There's things for like dates and emails and phone numbers, and for this one we just want number. That's looking good. We will copy this and paste it in all of the edit texts. Feet, inches, weight. That's pretty good. And what we'll just do now, because some of these things are in different orders and a bit of a mess. Some have height at the top, some don't. We'll do our auto format, our reformat code, which on Windows is Control-Alt-L and on Mac is Command-Option-L. So do that now, and that's tidied up all of our code for us. And that looks pretty good to me. So let's run this now on our emulator. So click Run. And that's looking a lot better. We have some padding, some space between the linear layouts children. We have margin between each individual element. When I click male and then click female, they behave as expected thanks to the radio group. And our edit text, when we click them, we only have numbers now. It's not my age. We have feet, inches, weight, all numbers. And that is now, as far as we're concerned, complete.